Oh, he's got Roma right behind him.
Roma was 2.5 seconds behind on the previous lap, and he's only 1 second, which means right in his gearbox just now.
Beijing looking for a way past Corinthians. Corinthians, one of the oldest and most established teams in the world of football. Beijing, one of the newcomers, and definitely upstart in Super League terms. They've dominated the series this year and really put Beijing, formed in 1992, on the map.
He's pushing hard. That's the last lap, last chance.
Now we start the last lap. Here we go. Borussia Dortmund leading by 1.7 seconds. James Walker of Great Britain flying the flag for Germany. Corinthians and Antonio Pizzonia holding on to second place, but only just. Beijing on their way to third, possibly second. Galatasaray, we're looking for them. And they're just holding off AS Roma at the moment for fourth place. All sorts of grandstand finishes here. And we'll keep watching whether AS Roma can get past. Beijing's chance, here it is. They're not close enough.
Oh, it's not going to happen there, but AS Roma is very close of Galatasaray, about 3/10 behind. And it's now or never going into the last long straight.
And what a famous victory this will be for Dortmund. They've had 4 different drivers. Started with Nelson Felipe, Paul Meyer, Enrico Toccacello, several DNSs, no wins, and this could be history. Walker didn't expect to be even here this afternoon, but somehow this morning they came out of the pit and they started from the pit lane, right from the very back of proceedings, and here on the very last lap, they are going to take the very last victory of 2008. James Walker comes out of the last turn. What a story, what a victory. Dortmund win in Jerez.
Very good job. Corinthians finally second. After this morning's race, they were second and they deserved the win.
And a word from Beijing as we go on board. A great race once again for Davide Rigon. What a season it's been. And Galatasaray just hold off AS Roma to take 4th place. Glasgow Rangers come across the line in 6th, Alain in 7th, Anderlecht take 8th place ahead of Eindhoven, who do finish 9th, and Eindhoven are the runners-up. They beat AC Milan. Liverpool went out early, of course. So that battle over, and Hjalmar Berman is the runner-up. Well done to PSV. They finished behind Guon Beijing.
And Zach Speed and Dortmund celebrating. Zach Speed being Dortmund and Beijing. Fantastic 2 cars on the podium for the last race of the season. Very well done to them.
Yeah, it's been a really torrid year for Borussia Dortmund. And as you say, Zach Speed, one of the great teams of Formula One in years gone by, and a real pedigree, but it's been a really tough year. And what a way to finish it. And well done to them, and well done to James Walker bringing in that victory, because no one would have expected that.
No, very well done to him. He's celebrating, waving to the crowd. This is our new champion. Very well deserved this season. His title, sorry.
We started this year back at Donington, and we looked at AC Milan. We looked at Liverpool as being favourites. No one expected Beijing. There's the race to result. Borussia Dortmund, winners. Corinthians finishing on a high in 2nd place. Beijing in 3rd. Galatasaray, a strong 4th place, despite that spin, holding off Frank Herrera and AS Roma for 5th place. Rangers 6th. Alain in 7th place. Anderlecht 8th. PSV Eindhoven finishing just ahead of AC Milan, but that's all they needed to do. Sevilla in 11th. Porto 12th. Flamengo not finishing, as you can see. Hotspur, Liverpool, Olympiacos, Basel and Atletico. That was the reaction by Davide Rigon. A little bit of a wave from him. delighted with his weekend's work, and well, he might be. And now he's back.
Well done to the Corinthians as well.
Well, the Chinese are very superstitious about their numbers. There's certainly numbers they won't have on a car, certain floors they won't put in a hotel. But I think 12 has just gone up the ranking. It's proved very lucky for Beijing.
He wins the championship this morning and he's on the podium this afternoon. That's how strong he is. That's how strong he was all season, all through the season.
It has been a very impressive showing by the youngster. He's 22 years of age. And Bruce, as I said before, what a future this kid's got.
Yeah, he's gonna be testing the Ferrari simulator F1.
That's not enough. You want to get in the real thing, don't you?
Sure.
Hang on,
that's the first step.
Wait a minute. They let Valentino Rossi test the real thing, and they give him the simulator. Come on. Well, what a season it's been, and in the end, when the dust settles, Beijing are champions by 413 points. PSV Eindhoven in second place, 337. 2 points ahead of AC Milan. Liverpool, in the end, despite that fuel problem, ended up 4th, 325. AS Roma moved up to 5th place. Anderlecht up to 6th. A good showing from Craig Dolby. Porto 7th, Galatasaray 8th, Corinthians 9th. Both of those two teams moving forward in the final weekend. Sevilla in 10th position. Tottenham Hotspur finished their season in 11th. Ain Rangers. Borussia Dortmund move up the board to 218 points with that win by James Walker. And work to do for the likes of Olympiacos and Atletico Madrid. But Atletico, to be fair, came into the series late, and they will be back next year. Let's go down now to the pits and hear from the interviews.
Davide, congratulations. You've been dominant all season. It's fitting that you finished the last race on the podium.
Yes, unbelievable, but in this race it was possible to win. Unfortunately, I had a big problem in the brake in the first corner and destroyed one tire, so it was difficult to do the race with the tires. After that, I had a problem with the overtake with Tuca Rocha, with the Flamingo. He kicked me out a little bit, so I lose the second position. But I was very fast, so thank you for all my team. It was perfect weekend for me. I did a stupid small mistake in the qualifying, and now I've heard for me is the maximum and win the champion. For me, it's perfectly like this.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Davide Regan there, and Lindsay Clark asking the questions. Great job done down in the pits, and more interviews to come. But celebrations for the crowd, they've enjoyed it for sure. Great atmosphere. And now the crowd filing out and heading home, back to the football. But the racing will be back, and there's no question that the fusion between motorsport and football has worked. You only have to look at that crowd right there and to see the excitement that's been around all day. A huge crowd here. I've never seen Jerez and a race like this as packed as it's been today. And Dortmund can celebrate. The crowd filing out now in the sunshine. And what a story for Borussia Dortmund, winners of the last race. No one would have predicted that, that's for sure. SC Corinthians also getting a great result towards the end of the season. Bruce, your thoughts? Been a good year?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic year. At the first race, I said, watch out, Davide Regan. I tested with him over the winter, and he was very impressive already, and he's made it, so that's very good. And it's been a pleasure to be there, because you can see the crowd. It's a completely new atmosphere brought to motorsport, and it's like in the old days where everybody was cheering up, and it's very special to be here.
So as you can see, they're getting ready to bring the podium to start off, and the drivers will be out in a moment, I'm sure. And the track commentator just announcing the top three to come. And the final podium of the year about to take place. And Dortmund, Corinthians, Beijing, Guan. And here comes Regan. Skips out to the podium. Antonio Pizzonia, the next man out, Brazil. And finally, the winner And a delighted, tall, lanky figure of James Walker.